Another week, another trading cycles video. It's week 23, 2024. My name is Urmas and I'm here to give an overview of what has happened last week on financial markets and what to expect this coming week. Today is Monday, 3rd of June, and before we dive in, obviously please consider liking this video and share it with your friends as well if you think it's worth something, or at least worth mentioning, and also subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. It is a free service and it's always appreciated, and you will get new video notifications also very soon when they will be put up there. I also need to remind you that this content is provided for educational purposes only. You need to do your own due diligence before making any decisions, and always trade the price, not the prediction, obviously. Now let's see what's been going on last week, and basically fundamentally there has been some news, and obviously quite a lot of Fed officials did speak out as well. Now, consumer confidence was one of the indications that came out, and it's been basically ticking upward a bit now since January. And this is a bit better, obviously, indication for the overall market as well. Now, although financial markets, or at least S&P and all the major indices, did decline during the week, so it wasn't the best week for markets. What else we did see there, that obviously home prices have been growing very rapidly, so that's not a good thing. And also pending home sales did fall in April, dropping about 7.7% from March, reaching its lowest level now since April 2020. And obviously high mortgage rates do affect that price as well. Yeah. And Eurozone inflation numbers did come out as well, so they did rise from 2.4 to 2.6 in April, driven by the high service and food costs. And obviously ECB's rate decision will be now coming out this week as well on the 6th, so we'll see how they will react. We do expect that they will start cutting rates quite soon, if not on the 6th already. Okay. And from China, IMF did raise their 2024 growth forecast from 4.6 to 5%. So that's also quite strong indication that China might do a bit better now. And obviously there are some expansions going on, and also government is supporting, so that's probably why. Okay, what else we did notice that US oil sector is consolidating and keeps doing so. So ConocoPhillips was another one who announced that they are purchasing or acquiring Marathon Oil. The deal is in amount of 22.5 billion, and basically, yeah, it's about the third, I think, biggest acquisitions in that sector. I think it was last year when Chevron acquired Hess for 53 billion, and ExxonMobil purchased Pioneer Natural Resources for 64.5 billion. Yeah? And also what caught my eye is that Bill Ackman, who is a hedge fund manager, did announce that he's planning to bring his investment fund, Pershing Square Capital, public. Yeah. So basically the valuation is standing at the moment at 10.5 billion, and currently they are managing around 16.3 billion in assets. So yeah, fairly interesting news. We'll see how it's going to play out indeed. All right. Another news, what we did see, Costco did announce their earnings, and it was basically, yeah, one of the best quarters again. They did achieve about 7% growth compared to others. So basically outperforming retailers like Walmart, Kroger and Target. And over the past decade, Costco stock has nearly increased ninefold, and now trades at an earnings multiple of about 53 times. Yeah. So that's obviously a good thing. What was not so good, Dell Technologies was also in news, and they did very well last quarter, but this time the stock fell about 18% on Friday following the problematic earnings call. They did obviously report better than expected earnings, but investor confidence was shaken a bit when one of the reporters there did ask uncomfortable questions in regards to the profitability of AI servers in their portfolio, which seems to be effectively zero. Yeah, they don't make any money on that sector, and that's why market was a bit scared. Salesforce also did report their first quarter revenue of 9.1 billion, an 11% year-over-year increase. However, slower revenue growth raised concerns about the potential slowdown in software spending, and it did lead to 14% drop in Salesforce stock price for the week. Okay, now let's review the charts now as well. So technical setup for S&P 500 is still quite positive. Yeah, despite that little correction last week, it still remains positive. Friday was obviously quite good recovery day. And if you look at the weekly, there we have a divergence in place. So basically, the risk is there that if it doesn't break through that 53.50 level, the market might still keep either going sideways or correct downwards. Yeah, as long as it stays above that 5,060 level. At the moment, I'm quite positive that it's not going to correct any further, but yeah, these are the levels to keep in mind, obviously. Technical setup for Russell 2000, obviously it's been struggling with that resistance zone here, yeah, and it is now in correction phase, although it did recover quite well on Friday, I think, and Thursday as well, yeah, so small caps did a bit better than large and mid caps. And 50-day moving average is still struggling in that 50% zone there, trying to break out either up or down, but still ending up in the middle there. Yeah? And same news for 200-day moving average for S&P 500. It's still in that red zone here, still close tiny bit above that 70% mark. Sector performance-wise, energy and utilities were the best ones, and the worst one was technology for the week. And if you look at those sectors individually, then yeah, obviously technology did struggle a bit. It is keeping obviously its position there above those moving averages. So let's see if it's gonna continue that way or it's gonna go even lower. But yeah, this is the interesting one. It has been overperforming still, the S&P 500 as a whole. And the other one who has been overperforming is utility sector, but it's struggling as well with that resistance zone here. Yeah? So another thing to keep an eye on quite closely. Another sector that we are keeping an eye on is consumer discretionary, and it's one of the most interesting sectors. It's heavily undervalued at the moment. And we do expect that it's going to do quite a bit better. It did obviously recover quite a lot during the week as well, moving against the whole market. So that's one of those to keep an eye on very closely as well. Heat map, yeah, it is as it is. So technology was not the best performing, and obviously the whole market was a bit better. And winners and losers. There were some interesting companies like BBY and Tech who were overperforming, and also one of the worst ones were AAL and Day, for example, which is a small software company. It's not doing so well. Obviously, they are a bit profitable now, but I'm not sure what the news was there, why it did drop so heavily during the week. But yeah. Insider trading activity has been slowing down a bit, so selling is declining, although there is slight buying interest still on the market, but it's not obviously significant enough to point out something more important there. And VIX did go quite a bit higher, but it declined by the end of week as well. Yeah, so it's back to its low levels. And fear and greed index stays in that neutral zone still. Crypto fear and greed is still in greed zone, which is good for crypto market as a whole. Yeah, and seasonality for S&P is now obviously in that raising territory, yeah? Although there is a short correction phase as well in June, yeah, usually. So we'll see if we have now gone through that or it's still ahead a bit. So that's something to keep an eye on. Now, if we look individual days, then today on Monday, the 3rd, is one of the worst days in the beginning of the month, but the rest of the week tends to be quite positive, yeah, overall, if we work on averages here, yeah. And statistically, yes, it's one of the long position weeks, so to say, yeah. So on average, the growth has been taking place between 66.7% to 80% of times of years, and yeah, if you look only for the past 5 years, it's been around 80%. So about 4 out of 5 years, the prices have been growing. This is a good signal, obviously. And commercial positions have been on decline still, so that's an indication that obviously the market might be topping, but it's too early to say at the moment. Yeah. And if you look at asset managers and institutional positions, then this is still in growing rate, going alongside with the market. Yeah, there is no divergence as such, if I'm correct, although there might be something coming in now. Yeah, so we'll have to keep an eye on it quite closely. Astrologically, there's a very busy week as well. Yeah, there's so many aspects in the beginning of the week, but on Thursday there's going to be new moon, and after that we will have some tensions as well. So obviously we will look at the turning points as well. So there's something interesting to keep an eye on as well. And if you look at the black box of the aspects, then yeah, it's pointing to the quite negative territory as well after that. And black box model for the US markets as a whole, it's still quite positive. Yeah, so that's not a bad thing at all here. What to expect from the markets next week, or this week, which has now begun. The jobs report on Friday will obviously offer critical insight of the state of the labor market, and it is quite crucial for the next Fed meeting as well, which will take place week after now, yeah? On the 11th and 12th. And it is a blackout period, so Fed officials have now spoken and they are keeping quiet for this week. Some earnings as well. CrowdStrike is announcing on Tuesday, and NEO on Thursday, and Lululemon as well. So that's one of the companies we have keeping an eye on, and we'll keep keeping an eye on. So let's see how it's gonna perform. We'll look at the charts in a moment. Now that next meeting is, as said, next week, and it is quite critical meeting. So there might be something changing in regards, not sure if it's going to be rate change or sentiment change this time, but yeah, this is something we do expect there. And if you look at the actual price movement of S&P 500 and our prediction, then these were going quite hand by hand, although it was not perfect last week. Yeah, but yeah, this is the situation where we are in at the moment, and well, you can't be always 100% correct, but at least the trend was correct, so that's good. Now let's look at the live charts as well. Yeah, so what's going on here? Let's see, S&P 500. It's been kind of volatile day today as well on Monday, but if you look at the turning points, then the next one coming up is on 6th, which is Thursday. Then thereafter it's going to be Monday the 10th, then 14th, which is Friday, and Tuesday 25th as well, and also Friday the 28th. So this is what we do expect. Those obviously indications trend-wise, they might not be correct. So obviously this is just an indication. They might be inverted sometimes as well. So let's keep an eye on these, obviously with some caution in mind. And when we look at US oil markets, then this is seasonally in quite heavy decline now, so it's quite a long period here. The next turning point is going to be on Tuesday the 11th, and last one was on the 29th, which was quite accurate. Yeah, as we can see, the market did turn exactly on that day. Then looking at gold market, here I did some research as well, even further, so there are some turning points to keep an eye on. Now on the 6th there is one of the low points possibly. Then on the 7th it's going to be a high. On the 12th it might be another low or mid-cycle low on the 12th. Then another high on the 18th, a little low on 21st, and then another high on 24th. And finally the month will end probably with another low there on 28th. So obviously again, these might be inverted, so please be cautious, and obviously it's not a recommendation. You need to do your own research. Obviously it is just purely for educational purposes here, provided to you as another research tool. And looking at Bitcoin is obviously performing quite well, still against that resistance. So if we do see prices going about 71.4 or something like that, then yeah, that's gonna be a good sign. But at the moment it's struggling a bit. Although today is another turning point here, and the prices have obviously reacted to that, so that's a good sign. Again, the next turning point will be on the 7th, which is Friday. And if you look at the biggest players here, we have been keeping an eye on. Well, let's look at the OJ as well, the orange juice. Yeah, it's been in strong momentum move lately. On the 28th it started obviously turning, and now it did find support on that moving average here. Yeah, so obviously moving averages tend to work better on those momentum markets. Yeah. Then they do work quite nicely, like we see here, yeah. But if the market goes sideways and it's fluctuating, then obviously moving averages don't help us that much. So that's something to keep in mind. Now looking at Apple was one of the ideas for the last week, and it did perform or overperform the whole market and sector there as well. Yeah, so that was quite good indication to you as my followers there. Obviously, if you want to see those recommendations and ideas, please go to my Patreon page, Patreon trading cycles. Yeah, that's the one. All right, so there you will see those ideas as well. Now Amazon has been obviously on decline, and I did indicate it quite early on that there will be a low on the end of May, and that's what has happened. Now it's started to recover a bit today, yeah. So we'll see if that trend is going to continue, but yeah, that was our prediction long time ago already, a couple of weeks ago. Google has been quite strong, so that's a good sign. Now going well. Microsoft didn't do so well, yeah, so the idea did fail, so it did close out there last week, but we'll see if it's going to show some strength, or is it going to go even lower to that support level here. Now Nvidia is still on its recent highs and all-time highs actually, so that's going obviously good. Meta is quite negative, but there is some strength showing today, yeah, so let's keep an eye tomorrow as well. If it's going to show another strong day, then it might go even higher to that resistance here at 525 maybe, yeah. Netflix is declining a bit, but still strong. Tesla is moving sideways. Nothing has happened yet. I do expect that seasonal activity will kick in soon. Usually June is quite strong month for Tesla, and I do have a trade open here as well. Yeah, just to be clear about it. But yeah, obviously I do expect that this price will go higher, but my risk is at the moment limited at 166. Yeah, so basically If it doesn't succeed, then the risk will be covered here. And PayPal, I also expect that this market will be quite strong soon enough, maybe in mid-June or after that. Yeah. So I'm keeping a close eye. If it's going to show some more strength, then yeah, that's one of the possible trades as well. And Lululemon, as mentioned, they are announcing this week, and at the moment it's been struggling very strongly. There is obviously support underneath it, and if it's gonna break through that one, then no way. But if it's gonna go higher after earnings, then I have quite strong feelings about it. Yeah, so it might go even higher. I do obviously need to see some indications to the higher side as well. And that's about it, I think. Yeah, so let's wrap it all up. As said, if you want to get an idea what sort of companies I'm looking at very closely this week, then please go to my Patreon page, Trading Cycles, and from there you can see it in separate video. And yeah, if you did enjoy this episode, then obviously please share it with others and like it as well. And also yeah, I'll wish you best of luck and happy trading.